Welcome to the JBJ Management Podcast. I'm WIllis Johnson with Samantha Gordon, and Samantha's getting ready to celebrate 5 years with JBJ. We just celebrated, I don't remember my pen, 30 years. Um, but what I want to talk about today is
hmm
the first job you had. I don't mean chores.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna.
No, the job outside of the house, and somebody paid you to do it. Do you recall what it was?
I worked for Oakley, the
What is that?
sunglass store. Yeah, I lived near an outlet mall, and so I would drive down to the outlet mall and work at the Oakley Vault, the sunglass store, and that was my first job. My mom actually said you need to work retail. She is a big believer that anyone should work in a retail job. And so she said, go work retail. I said, yes, ma'am. And ended up at Oakley selling sunglasses and clothing and all that fun stuff.
Did it create a personality?
Oh, I think so. Absolutely. I loved it, actually. I thought it was a lot of fun. I actually knew a few people that worked there too, so that helped. I thought it was great.
How much did they pay you?
I have no idea. I don't remember that at all. Um, I couldn't even tell you. I don't remember.
Well, the reason I asked that, the Wall Street Journal talks about the minimum wage, $16.50.
It wasn't that. It wasn't that. I
So you know
know.
what it wasn't.
I
You don't know
know
what
it
it
wasn't.
was. But the national minimum wage, $7.25.
It's a big difference.
I can remember working for $1.25. $1.25. My job was to it was we call it now landscaping. That's what we call it now. But back then it was get out there and mow that yard. So I had this guy, Mr. Walter Wilhite. He'd come by and pick me up and a couple other kids. And Samantha, we had to mow yards as quickly as possible because he was trying to get in 10, 12, 15 yards
Wow.
on a Saturday. And we got paid $1.25 an hour. And, you didn't know any better, but
Could get you to Dairy Queen, right?
Dairy Queen,
It's
that's
all that
exactly,
matters.
that's all that mattered. I could get the Dairy Queen later that night. So that was one of my early jobs. But the job I probably remember most, and I'm going somewhere with this because I wonder what jobs do kids do now. I worked at it was a laundromat, but in the laundromat was a restaurant where I flipped the burgers and then I waited
hmm
the tables as well. I had to buy the meat, and I remember this is what I remember most about that particular job. I had bought some ground beef and forgot.
Uh-oh.
And I remember after a while, what is that?
Ooh.
What is that?
Mm-mm.
And it was at the back of the refrigerator, and I hadn't thought any more about it. And people were starting to come in the restaurant, and they, what is that? Let me just tell you, if it stays in there for about 6 weeks,
Oh,
it,
that's a
it yeah.
that's a foul smell.
Um, but that job I remember too because it had a jukebox in it, and you could put a dime in there, and then you put your favorite song in there, and that whole thing. But what do kids do today? Because this article in the Wall Street Journal talks about the wages of teen unemployment. Kids aren't working today because of the amount of money that they won't get paid. What do kids do today? What kind of work do they have in 2025?
That's a great question that I wish I knew the answer to. It's so funny. I actually was talking to my niece and nephew a few weeks ago, and you ask kids what they want to be when they grow up. They all said a YouTube star or a TikTok star, and I was like, Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait. That's I was expecting to hear a doctor, a fireman, a lawyer, anything you would see as a Halloween costume for the most part. And they said that. So now I'm wondering, are kids thinking, are they teenagers thinking, hey, I could get on TikTok and tell people what I'm doing and do a get ready with me and a makeup, I don't know, and hoping to make money off of it. I have no idea. Are you working at a coffee shop? That's what I would guess. This is a great town for coffee shops, and so if I'm thinking about Dallas, I'm thinking there's a lot of coffee shops here. I think that's a great first job. Retail, lots of stores. We've talked about North Park Mall before. Are they hiring teenagers? Or are they? I have no idea because that would be
I,
my first thought. Restaurants,
I
coffee
remember
shops.
when we redid this office, Sam. I don't know if y'all paid any attention to this.
Hmm.
We redid this office, and one day there were about 9 young Hispanic males. That's who painted.
Hmm.
They they couldn't have been more than
That was it.
15, 16
And
max.
that was summer. Yeah, I mean that's a great summer job. I painting, doing windows, power washing. I know a lot of kids that power wash during the summers, like driveways, stuff like fences, stuff like that,
But do
mowing
kids
yards.
want to work now? Do they want? That's the key. Do they want to work?
No, I don't know. That I I think I agree. I think parents definitely had an influence, at least for me. My parents had a big influence. I said, you will get a job in the summers. Like you go to school, you play your sports, you do whatever you need to do during the year. In the summers, you get a job, you work. You do not get to sit home if you are not doing something. So I don't know if they're being pushed to do that, or if I feel like social media just plays such a big role right now because they see other people that are not. There's so many jobs
Distraction.
nowadays, distractions, and there's so many jobs that are not traditional jobs right now. And that's what a lot of people are looking at, saying that's what I want. But there's only a handful of those.
I
There's
can
only so many people that
remember
make it.
some of the interns that we've had, um, some greater than others. Um, now we're talking about some kids were in high school,
Hmm.
like Jerry, who went to DISD. I think he's at A&M now, getting a degree in engineering or working on a
Oh
degree
yeah.
in engineering. But a lot of kids, I mean, I remember Haley um, Hall.
She's
She went to Vanderbilt.
yeah, she's killing it.
Yeah. So we've had some kids, but how many kids get that corporate experience and prepare them for life after high school, life after college? Do they really want to do it?
It's the ones that want it, and it's the ones whose parents are making them do it. I really think because if you don't know this is what you want, you're not going to go think that that's what I if I feel like if a kid doesn't see, like I saw my parents leave and go to work every single day. They
Mhm.
left and they went to a job. I always saw that. So I always knew whatever I did, I was going to have to leave the house every day and go. Like the remote was never on my radar until COVID happened and people started getting remote jobs. I didn't really understand that. But I think the corporate world, if you don't have that drive to be a part of it, if you have never seen someone that was a part of it and you don't have that experience, I think you just kind of you don't know a lot about it right now.
Now, when you say that, that's interesting. On the front page of the Wall Street
Mhm.
Journal, I'm reading, I'm quoting. This is not Willis's opinion. I'm just quoting. Women who want work from home flexibility are finding it comes with a price. By last year, women working full time made 81 cents on the dollar compared with men, the widest pay gap since 2016, according to the Census Bureau. And recent numbers from the Labor Department indicate that men are outpacing women this year, too, when it comes to weekly earnings growth. Now, I wonder why would they say women who wanted to work from home flexibility and not people
Mhm.
in general? Because I promise you, it's more than women that want
Right.
to work from home. I promise you that. Um, does it bother you that men make more?
Absolutely. I absolutely. I think it's so hard to sit here when we have so much technology in this day and age and everything, so many new innovations and everything, and then to still say that men make more than women. That's so hard to hear because I mean, being in this office, I know how hard this entire team works, men and women. We all work hard. I think that women should be getting paid the amount that men do when they do jobs that are the same. Like that's just there's a difference in hierarchy, leadership, not leadership. Totally understand that. That's not if you
Right.
do the same job and you work just as hard as one another, get paid equally.
But it's men making decisions about that. Uh,
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is men are usually making the decisions on who
Who gets
makes.
paid? I understand. Okay. I was confused where you're going with that one.
So how do you express your frustration to the men who are making those decisions?
I'd ask a lot of questions. Why do you
You
feel?
do ask a lot of questions.
Why do you feel that what am I doing that's not sufficient enough for me to be making the same amount as somebody else who's my equal?
so
What is the
so
difference?
so when the guy says, "Okay, all things equal,
Mm-hmm.
we're both climbing the pole. You gonna climb the pole the same as the man climbs the pole, or you're not gonna do that job?"
Are we talking about a physical
Yeah.
pole? Like we're linemen and we're going up to change?
Right, right, right. I
Right.
mean, what? Because I don't know. Because what I found, when you put a woman in the room, game changer. This, and I know men not gonna like this. They're 3 or 4 steps ahead of us, fellas. Just they really are.
I
It's
appreciate
just you
that.
just you just. I know you don't like that, but they're 3 or 4 steps, and it's just a perspective that a woman comes with, and you see men go, well, yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe that's a good
Or
idea.
they walk into the next room and they pitch it as their idea too.
Yeah, well, that
One or
too.
the other, right?
Well, that too. But equal pay for women, equal pay for people of color. How do we justify or how do we level the playing field?
If we could solve that, I feel like we'd be on top of the world if we could solve that. That is a question that so many people have asked and tried. I have no idea. I think it starts does it start from the top down or the bottom up? First off, I don't know. Does it start with somebody at the top that says this isn't right, or does it start with the people that are at the bottom making the most noise? I have no idea.
The question I ask, are you happy where you're working? Because sometimes it's not about the money. Sometimes it's about, I was talking to a young man the other day who's making more money than he's ever made, but he doesn't like the environment of the job that he's in. He's uncomfortable, and he actually said, and he's only 27 years old. He actually said, "I'm thinking about taking less money and going back to my other job." How important is the culture and the environment?
That's everything.
Wow.
For me, I would say that is everything. That is something that I never knew I wanted, and I got here that I realized how important that was. Because the team and the people you work side by side with day and day, like those are the people that you see them more than you see your family for the most part. If you really put it in hours and I mean, especially me, who I don't live close to my family, my parents, my brother, sister-in-law. I don't live close to them. So I see everyone in this office more than I see anybody else.
That used to bother me when my teacher would tell me, "I see you more than your mom and daddy. You here from 8 to 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
They only see you 3 or 4 hours, and then you're going to sleep." Oh, that just would irritate me. I didn't like to be told
Right.
that you spent more time. I spent more time at school or now really at work than you do at home.
It makes sense why you built a family business. You spend
Well,
time with them. You
well,
spend time with them now.
then the other thing that comes from that is, now this, we'll close on this question, just because this is going to lead us some other place. Do you dress at work better than you dress at home? Now, well, what do you mean by that, Willis? I'm glad you asked. If you're married or if you're in a relationship, do your coworkers see the better part of you than your significant other?
Are we closing on that for the public to
I
answer?
don't
Or are
know.
we?
I don't know.
Because I could answer this. I've said this before many times. I like to be put together, and wherever I go, whatever I'm doing, I enjoy that. That is something that I like to do for myself. So I do my hair and makeup, even when it's not, maybe not to this extent, maybe not to the same extent that I do it at work, but it is done. I look put together. I like to dress nice on the weekends, on the weekdays when I come home. Now, if I'm just running errands, running around the house, and it's athletic, athleisure, athletic wear, doing stuff like that. But I mean, for the most part, I would say yes, because I enjoy being put together. That's something that I do for myself.
I can actually say that's true because I saw you on a golf course and you were like
I put together,
fully
absolutely.
made up. I'm like,
I had a
whoa.
hat on. I looked. It was great, and you're
And
getting a good
but when you
tan
saw
driving
me on the
around.
golf course, what did you say?
I didn't say anything. I said, "There's my boss."
Because I for sure did not have
You
on.
don't like to be seen outside of work.
No.
You had that hat low. I had to make sure it was you, because if I started walking over there saying, "Pretty sure that's my boss," and it wasn't my boss, someone was going to think I was crazy.
But I for sure was not wearing at the golf course. So this is for you to think about. Do you dress better at work than you do at home? So our podcast today was about work, but I want you to let that marinate. Do you dress better for work? Does he see you?
Or she. Or she.
And that's the JBJ Management Podcast. I'm Willis Johnson with Samantha Gordon.